welcome to your yoga practice. So tomorrow, April 7th, is the April full moon. So we're going to go through some moon salutations. And much like the sun salutations, there are a lot of different variations on the moon salutations. The one that I generally stick to, I found from the integrative yoga therapy people. So we'll be going through that variation. And this full moon is the pink full moon, named for the pink phlox flowers that are blooming now, or so I've read and so I've heard. I haven't seen them myself yet, so if you've seen them, hooray, more flowers blooming. So we'll go through the moon salutations. We'll start in a comfortable seat. As always, I have 2 blocks close by just in case, and a blanket if I want a little extra support. If you don't have those, don't worry about it, or you can creatively take anything else that might work for you. Feel free to put music on in the background. Feel free not to. Just make it your practice, your full moon practice. And we'll start in a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like, either back on the heels, how I am, or cross-legged, or legs can even be out in front of you. And just letting the eyes close, or just taking the gaze to the floor or your lap. And invite a deep breath in and sigh it out. And take another deep breath in and let it go. And give yourself the next couple of breaths to land. And sometimes the body lands faster than our mind does. So give your mind some time to arrive. Letting the events of your day or your week so far settle down in the body. Becoming aware of the physical body and any places that could use a little extra love and attention today. Noticing the natural breath as it moves in and out. Becoming aware of your mind and the activity in the mind. And how is your energy at this point? Just scanning through all these different layers of the self and welcoming them exactly as they're showing up. And then bringing the attention back to your breath, starting to slow each breath down. Letting each inhale get a little fuller than the one before. And each exhale a little longer. Tuning into what's showing up inside. And then also connecting to everything that's going on around you. So doing a practice around the full moon can be a nice reminder of all that we are part of in nature, the cycles of nature. You may have felt a little more energy around you the last few days, or might have felt a little crazier the last few days, and I always feel good blaming that on a full moon. Just noticing what's been showing up for you. Taking some time to turn inside. Bringing one hand to heart center, one hand to belly, sending thanks, sending gratitude for whatever got you here today. And then setting any further intention, dedication, or focus that feels appropriate for you. Maybe an intention for this full moon, an intention for your day. Just seeing what's bubbling to the surface. Keeping an open mind and heart for things to shift and change down the line. And releasing the hands back down to the lap as you begin to curl back through the spine and slowly circle through the torso. I'm starting to feel into the ribs, the spine, the hips, the shoulders, the neck a bit as you circle slowly around. Going one way and then the other. back to a nice long spine. As you inhale, arc open. Exhale, curl inside. And arc open. And curl inside. One more time, arc open. And curl inside. And come back to a neutral spine. Inhale, arms sweep out and up, stretch tall. Exhale, out and down. Inhale, arms up. Then take them over to the right, walking the right fingertips out, stretch through your left side. Inhale, coming up. And over to the other side. And come up. And one more time to the right. And up. And again to the left. Inhale, come back up. And twist to the right, bring the right hand either to the floor behind you or you can wrap it around the back. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, twist it the other way. Inhale, arms up. And twist to the right. And up. And twist to the left. Come back through center. Reach the arms out in front of you, hips pull back. Just starting to feel a little stretch here through the spine, through the back, maybe into the hips, even more if you're sitting cross-legged. Taking a deep breath in and side out. Roll back up, walking your hands towards you. And then inhale, arms reach high again. Exhale, out and down. Take the legs out in front of you and give them a gentle wiggle and a shake. Let go any tightness, tension in the knees, the hips, the ankles. Point and flex through toes. Get some movement through the ankles, circling one way and then the other. And then bending the knees, bring the feet as wide as your mat and let your knees fall side to side. And then pause in center. If you have any blankets underneath you, you can move those out of the way and roll down onto your back. And once on your back, hug your knees towards you, rocking a bit side to side, massaging out the low back. With a hand on each knee, circle the knees away from each other, getting more into the hips. Taking it one way and then the other. Then keeping your right leg hugged in, extend your left leg long. Reaching out through the left foot, soften the shoulders, let the head be heavy. Begin to circle the knee around. Take it one way and then the other. And then pause and center, extending the leg up high, interlacing the hands behind your leg. Reach out through the foot. Knee can still have a bend if that feels better. Hip is anchoring down as you reach up through your foot. I'm just taking a couple breaths here, staying nice and broad across the collarbones. Head heavy. And then the right leg is going to come out to the right. Right arm becomes a little kickstand, holding that leg up. Reach out through the heel, draw the toes towards you. Knee can be as bent as it needs to be. Using your core strength so you don't topple all the way over. Relax the jaw, relax to the face, relax the shoulders. On your next inhale, come back through center. Begin to take it over to the left. And either just hanging out here or the left hand can become a kickstand. Right arm can come out to the side. Feeling that juicy stretch down the outer seam of the leg. And the more you draw the heel away from you and the toes towards you, the more you'll feel that stretch, so you can decide whether you want to do that or not. Paying attention to your body, what works for you today. And then come back through center and lower the leg down. Both arms reach overhead, hook the thumbs and stretch from fingers down to toes, giving them a little wiggle. And as you inhale, reach further, exhale, soften slightly. And then reach long, sweep the feet, the arms over to the right, stretching and opening up through your left side in a supine crescent moon. And then come back through center and take it over to the other side, opening up through the right ribs, the right hip. And then come back through center. Arms come out and down as you hug your left leg in, reaching out through your right foot. Soften the shoulders again. Begin to circle the left knee around. Just moving the leg around in the hip socket. Taking it one way and then the other. And then interlacing the hands behind the leg as you reach up high through the foot. Knee can bend as much as it needs to. Stretch up through the bottom of the foot. Hip anchors down towards the floor. So you're reaching in both directions. Staying nice and broad across the collarbones as you do so. And then begin to open your left leg up to the left. Right arm can come out to the side. Left hand becomes a little kickstand. Using your core strength so you don't topple all the way over. Continuing to reach out through both feet. And then noticing where you can soften, relax the jaw, the face, across the eyebrows. Relax the tongue. And then inhale, come back through center and take it over to the right. Left arm coming out to the side. Right hand can be a kickstand, or you can let the leg just hover in the air. Breathing into that stretch down the outer seam of your left leg. Noticing any difference in the two sides. Does this side feel tighter? Does it feel more open? Does it feel about the same? Just taking note as you slowly start to warm up. Inhale the leg back, and then lower the leg down. Arms reach overhead again, hook the thumbs, stretch from fingers down to toes, give them a little wiggle. Sway the feet, the hands over to the left, open up through the right side. Supine crescent moon. Come back through center. Take it over to the other side. And come back through center. Arms come out and down. Hug your knees towards you again. Rock a bit side to side. And then either turn on over to one side and gently help yourself to a seat, or you can begin to rock and roll along the length of the spine. Doing that a few times. But again, if that doesn't feel comfortable, just roll to one side and come up to a seat. When you come all the way up, crossing the legs and circle through the torso again. Going one way and then the other. Extend the legs out, then bring them over to one side, coming up to a tabletop. So you find your tabletop, you can place a blanket under the knees if you want a little extra extra support. Spread the fingers nice and wide. If you notice the wrists feeling sensitive here, you can work on fists. You can roll the edge of your mat up for a little extra height under the wrists. Get long through the spine. Inhale, arc open. Exhale, curl. And arc open. And curl. One more time, arc open. And curl. Come back to a neutral spine. Inhale, right arm reaches high, stretch through fingers. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, left arm reaches high. And bring it down. One more time, right arm up. And take it down. And left arm up. And bring it down. Take your right knee out to the side. Circle the knee around. Go one way and then the other. Pause with the knee out to the side. And then take it in front of you and crisscross it right in front of the left. Knees stay close, flick the feet wide, pull your hips back. They may just hang out in space, they may come all the way down to the floor. Just finding that position that feels nice in the hips. Nice might be pushing it a little far. That feels okay in your hips right now. You feel a stretch, but you'll also be able to walk off of your mat when you're done. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Inhale, come back up. Unwind the legs coming back to your tabletop and sway the hips side to side. Bring your left knee out to the side. Begin to circle the knee around, warming up through the hip. Going one way and then the other. And then pause with the knee out to the side. Bring it in front and crisscross left over right. Knees stay close, flick the feet wide again. Pull the hips back any amount. Feeling that stretch into the outer hips. Relax through the shoulders. Soften the fingers, the wrists, the elbows. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. Inhale, come back up. Unwind the legs and sway the hips side to side. Walk your hands forward or your knees back a little bit or a little of both and lower down onto your belly. Stretch out through the toes, elongating through the legs. Walking fingers out in front of you, elbows nice and high. Pop up to fingertips, inhale, come up. And turn to look one way, getting a little stretch to the neck. Turn to look the other. Come back through center, lower down. Walk your hands back some more, whole hand on the floor. Press yourself up any amount that feels comfortable. So if you feel any pinching in the back in any spot, just lower yourself down a little bit more. Or walk your hands out in front of you a bit more. Just feeling a nice opening through the front body. I know I'm doing way more sitting these days. It feels good to just take it in the opposite direction and balance things out. And turn to look one way. Turn to look the other. Come back through center and lower down. Hands come to land by the sides of the chest. Press yourself back up to a tabletop. Curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back. And then walk your hands towards your feet to the back of your mat. Knees bending as much as they need to. Hang over the legs in a forward fold. Shake the head. Yes, yes, yes. sensitivity in the back, bend the knees even more. And then slowly start to roll on up, taking your time to get there. When you reach the top, arms sweep out and up, palms touch. Exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, palms to the heart. Close the eyes for a moment or take the gaze down and just turn inside. And having done a bit of warm-ups, what do you notice now in the body? Take inventory of physical sensations, thoughts, emotions. Connecting in with all that's showing up inside. And reconnecting to the full moon, to the cycles of nature, to all that's going on outside of you. Release the hands down, gently blink the eyes open. And open up to the side of your mat. Feet coming out nice and wide. Actually, no, we'll start close. So feet hip distance or shoulder distance apart. Palms come together in front of the heart. Inhale, arms reach up tall and either take hold of your elbows or interlace fingers, pointer fingers reaching up tall. If the shoulders feel tight, better to take hold of elbows. And take it over to the right, hips go slightly left. Inhale, come up and take it over to the other side. And up. One more time to the right. And up. And to the left. And come back up. Take the arms, legs wide into a 5-pointed star. Toes pointing straight forward, heels back. Stretch out through your fingers. Soften the shoulders down away from the ears. And as you reach out through the fingers, also hug the shoulders back into their sockets. Heels turn in, toes turn out. Bend the elbows, bend the knees, Devyasana, goddess pose. If the knees are knocking in, just paying attention to that, bring the knees over your middle toes. Inhale, legs straighten, arms reach tall. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach tall. And bend. One more time, reaching tall. And bend. Sway a bit side to side. Just feeling into this shape. Pause and center. Inhale, reach tall. Turn your feet through parallel. And then left toe slightly in, right toes out. Arms come out wide. Bending the right knee so it comes right over the ankle in your warrior 2 pose. If you feel really heavy in that front leg, pull back through the back hand a little bit more. Flip the front hand to face up. Take it up and back. Left hand slides down the back leg. Open up through the side. Inhale, come up. Straighten the front leg. Right hand comes to the leg. Left arm reaches high. Relax the shoulders away from ears. Hips pull back to the left. Crown of the head reaches out past your right toes. And as you inhale, pull that top arm back, twist open. Exhale, twist and close towards the floor. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close. One more time, open up. And close. Bend your front knee, bring the hands to frame the foot, pivoting onto the ball of the back foot. At this point, hands can stay on the floor. If you have blocks and you'd like your arms to be a little longer or the pose to be a little gentler, hands can still come on the blocks. If you'd like things to be even a little more gentle, you can drop that back knee down. If you want a little more heat, keep that knee lifted. Press out through the back heel, heart straws forward, shoulder blades back, spine nice and long. Inhale, right arm up, stretch up towards the ceiling, twist away from your knee. Oh, no, left arm up. Take it down. And right arm up. And release. Gently drop the back knee. Toes can stay curled. You can uncurl them. Sink the hips a little deeper. Bring the hands to stack on the front leg. Pressing into the knee. Peel yourself away from the thigh. Relax the shoulders. Reach up tall through the top of the head. Then bring the arms out in front of you. Palms face each other. Roll the shoulders away from ears. Inhale the arms up high. Either keep them parallel or you can bring them a little wider apart if that feels better for your shoulders and your neck. Then either way, float the arms back a little bit more. Heart lifts up, gaze higher. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, hands come back to land. Step the front foot back. If you have the blocks, move them out of the way. Hands come to the floor. Inhale, arc open. Exhale, curl. And arc open. And curl. Come back to neutral. Right foot kicks off to the side. Right hand stays down. Left leg extends long, bringing the foot in line with your right knee. Left hand to the left hip. Opening up, hip stacks on top of hip, shoulder stacks on top of shoulder. Top arm reaches high to the sky. Either staying there with the foot on the floor or start to hover your left foot, pressing out through the heel. Stretch the arm overhead. Taking a couple of breaths here, feeling that length through the entire left side. And then gently lower the foot down. Looking down, hand comes down. And turn back into a tabletop. Sway the feet to one side. Look over your shoulder at your feet. And over to the other side. Go back to the first side. And the second side. Come back through center. If you want, bring those blocks back. Step your right foot through again. Curl the back toes under. Lift the back knee off the ground. Pull the hips back. Fold over the front leg. And again, the knee can be bent if that feels better as you fold. Shake the head, yes and no, nice and soft in the neck. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Walk your hands around to your left, pivoting the feet back into a wide-legged forward fold. Shifting side to side, bend into one knee some more and then the other. Pause in center. Left hand stays down, right arm reaches high, stretch up through your fingers. Exhale the arm down. Inhale, left arm high. And bring it down. One more time, right arm high. And release. Inhale, left arm high. And release. Move the blocks over to your left so they're ready for your second side. Bring your hands back to center. Bending the knees, slowly start to roll on up, taking your time to get there. When you reach the top, arms sweep out wide again, 5-pointed star, relaxing the shoulders. Turn your heels in, toes out. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. Devyasana, goddess pose. Inhale, reach tall again. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach tall. And bend. Bring the hands down on top of the knees, pressing the knees out nice and wide over middle toes. Taking a move that comes from one of my teachers, Kobe Kozlowski. Drop your right shoulder, press out through your right knee. Inhale, come up, and drop left. I know other teachers do this, but for me, this is classic Kobe. So thanking my teachers for what they give me. Drop left. Come back through center. One more time, drop right. And center. And drop left. Come back through center. Have the arms come to frame the face again. Tailbone drops down, belly in and up. Inhale, reach tall. Feet come through center, arms come wide. Right toes turn in, left toes turn out. Bending your left knee, finding your warrior two on the second side. And again, if you notice, if you're leaning forward or if you feel really heavy in that front leg, pull back through your right fingers a little more. Flipping that front hand to face up. Take the arm up and back, right hand slides down the back leg. Open up through the left ribs. Inhale, come back up. Straighten the front leg. Start to reach out past your left toes. Bring the left hand to land on the leg. Right arm reaches up high. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Nice and long from your hips, pulling to the right, to the crown of the head, reaching past your front toes. And as you inhale, begin to pull that top arm back, twist open. Exhale, twist and close. Inhale, opening up. And close. One more time, open up. Taking your time. And close. Start to bend the front knee, bringing the hands to frame the foot, pivot onto the ball of the back foot. And again, using your blocks if you have them or you want them. Back knee can stay lifted, or if it felt better to drop that knee down, feel free. If the knee is lifted, think about pressing out through the heel, opening up to the back leg. Nice and long from your heel all the way up to the top of your head. Right hand down, left arm sweeps high, twist towards your knee. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, right arm up. And bring it down. One more time, left arm up. And release. And right arm up. And release. Gently lower the back knee. Toes can stay curled. You can uncurl them, whatever feels good. And then begin to sink the hips a little lower. Hands come to land on the front knee, pressing yourself away from your thigh, lengthen through the spine. Reaching up tall through the top of the head. And then bring the arms out in front of you, palms face each other. Inhale the arms up. Either staying parallel or arms can come a little wider apart. From there, float the arms back a little bit more. Heart lifts up, gaze upward. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, hands come back to land. Step your front foot back. Move your blocks out of the way if you have them. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. Inhale, arc open. Exhale, curl. And arc open. And curl. Come back to a neutral spine. Kick your left foot off the side. Left hand stays down. Right foot extends long in line with your left knee. Right hand to the right hip. Peeling yourself open. Stack the hips, stack the shoulders. And then reach the top arm high to the sky, stretching through the fingertips. Extended leg can stay on the floor, or you begin to float that right leg. Pressing out through the foot, reach the arm overhead, stretching through the whole side body. Staying here for a few breaths, feeling that length through your whole right side. And then gently lower the foot, looking down, lower the hand, and turn back into a table. Sweep the feet to one side, look over your shoulder. And to the second side. And over to one side and the other. Come back through center. If you're using the blocks, bring them back. Step your left foot through again. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee off the ground. Begin to pull the hips back as you fold over the front leg, keeping as much of a bend as you need there. Let the head shake yes and no. Soften through the neck. As you inhale, lengthen through the spine, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. And fold. One more time, looking ahead. Then walk your hands around to the right, pivoting your feet into a wide-legged forward fold. Shift a bit side to side. Pause in center. Left hand staying down, right arm reaches high again, stretch through fingers. This time bend the elbow, wrap the hand behind the back, pulling the elbow back, twisting open. If that doesn't feel good for you, keep the arm extended long still. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Inhale, arm extends long. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, left arm up, and either stay extended or if it's comfortable, you can bend the elbow, wrap the hand behind the back, pulling the elbow back, twist open some more. Taking a deep breath in here and letting it go. Inhale the arm high. Exhale, bring it down. Shift the weight back to your heels, get lighter in your toes. Hands can stay on the blocks, you can already move them off to the side if that feels better. Knees bent as much as you need to. Keep the weight back in your heels, keep the toes nice and light as you start to walk your hands or your blocks forward. Heart melts down, head comes to rest in that space between the arms. Pulling back through the hips, nice and long through the spine. Notice how much space you can create from your belly button to your collarbone. How much space you can have through the spine. Take a deep breath in here. And sigh out. Then walk your hands back. Walk your blocks back. Heel toe your feet a little closer together. Nice strong legs. Bring the hands to your hips. Inhale, come on up. Arms sweep wide again. Heel toe your feet towards each other as the arms stretch up tall, either holding elbows again, or you can interlace fingers, pointer fingers reach up tall. Exhale to the right, hips go left. Inhale, come back up, and take it over to the other side. Inhale, one more time to the right, and up, and to the left. And come back up. Gaze up tall, bring the fingers, palms to touch. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart, closing the eyes or just taking the gaze down. Tuning in again, what do you notice having gone through a round of moon salutations? Noticing any physical sensations here, thoughts, emotions. Allowing the practice to be whatever it is, however it's showing up. And then release the hands down. Gently blink your eyes open. Turn to face the front of your mat again. Inhale, arms reach high. Take hold of the left wrist, pull over to the right. Inhale up. Switch the hold, pull over to the left. And up. Arms come out and down, bend the knees, bring the hands to the low back. Straightening the legs, press the hips forward, heart lifts up tall. Shin can stay tucked to keep the length in the back of the neck, or you can let the head go if that feels better for you. Hugging elbows towards each other, shoulder blades towards each other. As you inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold, hands slide down the legs. Breathing in, come halfway up, hands slide up to shins or thighs. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, hands come to the floor. Lower one knee down and the other back to your tabletop. Hands either staying on the floor or you can bring them back to your blocks. And bring your right knee through. Start to walk your left leg back in this variation on a pigeon pose. So here the hip is right over the heel. The blocks come in handy at whatever height. If you want to get into this a little deeper. So the higher you come, the more you press yourself up, the more you'll feel that stretch in that back leg in the front of the hip. If you don't have blocks or your the front of the hip isn't as open, you can come forward here, hands on the floor, propping up to whatever height feels best. But if you've got those blocks, you can use them. Relax the shoulders. Turn to look one way. You can find your foot back there. And turn to look the other. And then come back through center. And this feels so nice if you are sitting a lot, taking that forward bend that we're in a seated pose and bringing it in the opposite direction. So opening up through that extended leg and the spine, balancing out the tilt in the pelvis. And then to come out of this, lean forward, pressing into the floor or your blocks, pull the hips back. And then slide your left knee through, keeping it in front so that the heel lines up right underneath the hip, walking the right toes back. Take a peek to see if the leg isn't off on some weird angle. And you can walk your hands, your blocks back as far as feels appropriate, opening up to the front of the right hip. I'm just spending some time here balancing out the tilt in the pelvis, opening up to the front of the leg. You don't spend a whole lot of time in this shape on a daily basis, so it's nice to balance things out. And then take a peek over one shoulder, see if you can find your foot. Take it the other way. Come back through center. And then move your blocks out of the way. Bring your hands down. And this time gently tipping to your left side. Help your legs around out in front of you. And give them a little wiggle in the shake. Point and flex through toes. Bend the knees, feet come to the floor. Lower down onto your back. Relax the shoulders, let the head be heavy. Walk your feet out towards the edges of your mat. Knees sway side to side. And then pause and center, hugging your knees towards you again. Give them a little squeeze, rocking side to side. Circle the knees together in one direction. And then change the direction. And then pause and center. Let the knees come out wide. One hand on each knee, letting the knees flop down towards the floor by your armpits. Reach down and either hold onto the legs somewhere or ankles, feet reaching up towards the sky. Or if you can reach them, hold for the outer edges of your feet. Knees continue to flop down. Feet nice and broad and open, facing the ceiling or the sky. And noticing here, if you're all curled up in the spine, can you lengthen the hips down? Can you get nice and long through your spine? And your choice if you stay still here, or you can bring a little sway side to side in your happy baby pose. Nice and broad across the collarbone still. Pause and center. Right leg stays as it is, right arm stays as it is. Let go of your left foot, left arm coming down. Left foot reaches up tall. Begin to slowly lower your left leg. And as you do so, press out through the foot, keeping a nice hold on your right foot, and come to a hover. So there's a balance of holding onto that right leg with the right arm and reaching out through your left foot that lets the leg hover here pretty much weightlessly. And then inhale, the leg comes back up, slowly, slowly. Bend the knee out to the side again, take hold of the foot with the hand, back to your happy baby, rock a bit side to side. Pause and center. Hold on to that left foot with the left hand. Let go of the right arm comes down, right leg reaches up high. Slowly begin to lower the right leg, pressing out through the foot as you do so. So super long through the leg. And come to a hover. Left knee descending down, keeping hold on either your left leg or your left foot, hovering the right leg. Hopefully it's pretty weightless. Take a couple more breaths here. Reaching out through right foot still. Now on your next inhale, slowly begin to bring the right leg back up. Bend the knee out. Take hold of the foot again. Rock a bit side to side. Happy baby. Pause and center again. Bring the bottoms of the feet together, knees out wide. Relax through the face, the jaw, the tongue, And then reach the legs and the arms up towards the ceiling. Give them a gentle shake out. Let it all go. Hug your knees in, keeping them hugged in. Arms come out wide, palms facing up. Let the knees fall over to the left. And if the legs don't want to come all the way down to the ground, if that's a little too deep of a twist for you, you can take your blanket or your blocks, prop the legs up on them for a gentler twist. Head can stay straight or just taking the head in whatever direction feels most comfortable. And give yourself some time to settle in here. Letting go of the work, shifting gears, and letting go of the doing. And the phases of the moon teach us that there are times when we shine brightly, when there's a lot of light and energy outwards. And that's balanced out where times when the energy is turning in, returning inside. And this time right now of staying at home feels very much like that new moon phase of keeping all the energy inside. Remembering back to those times when we were out. If you have the head turned, bring the head back to center. Inhale, knees come back to center. And then take them over to the right side, taking any support that you might want for this side. Relaxing the shoulders. Head can stay straight. Or just turning the head in whatever direction. And softening into this twist as much as you can. Surrender any of the work and just be here. The legs, the arms to get a little heavier. Is there anywhere else that you could let go? And begin to turn the head back to center. Inhale, knees come back to center. Give them one final hug. Then shift into your final posture of Shavasana, your final relaxation, taking any layers or props to get extra cozy. And if you feel chilly at all, good idea to grab some layers or grab a blanket as the body temperature drops as we relax. Tuck yourself in, get cozy. Making any adjustments to find your perfect resting spot here. Make the head to one side. And then over to the other. And back to center. And look up and overhead. Look down. And then you come back to neutral. Allowing the eyes to close. The face to soften. Let the breath be nice and deep, taking a deep breath in. And sigh out. And take one more deep breath in. And let it go. And feel your bones get heavy. And the muscles soften. The skin releasing its grip on the muscles. As you rest and recharge in this final position. Letting the benefits of your moon salutations find their way inside.
attention back to your breath. Inviting your next inhale to be a little fuller, more energizing. And the exhale, soft and smooth. Bring any movements back that feel natural. I may start with the wiggling of fingers and toes. There may be a stretch calling your name. And then when you're ready, bend one knee and the other, bring the feet to the floor. Let the head gently flop side to side. Then turn on over to one side, resting there with the knees drawn in towards you. Taking a moment in this position. Taking some time in your transition. Then in any way that feels sweet and supportive, start to help yourself back on up. Eyes can stay closed or the gaze can just be soft and fuzzy. And when you make it back up to a comfortable seat, tune in again. Notice any shifts or changes having gone through your practice. What does it feel like sitting here now? What are you sitting with? Bring one hand to heart center, other hand rests on top of it. And bowing the head towards hands and heart, thank yourself for showing up, for playing yoga today, and giving yourself this gift of time on your mat. Inhale the head back up, and bow to the wonder and wisdom within you. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Have a lovely full moon, happy pink moon, and I hope to see you again soon. Until then, be well, be safe, and have a good one. Bye.